right here, guys. There will never be another Son Goku.
The situation.
This was a 5 months ago video, so I want to watch this. Like, again, let's put some positive stuff on the stream. You know what I mean? And let's finish this piece.
Was dire. Akira Toriyama was at a crossroads. The only words he could use to describe his new manga Dragon Ball, made to follow up his massively successful previous manga Dr. Slump, was the series hadn't been all that popular. You see, while Dragon Ball may be an iconic household name today, it almost ended right here. With a perverted talking pig wishing for a pair of girls' panties from a nigh omnipotent magical dragon. Toriyama was prepared to pay off the hunt for the Dragon Balls with a gag and call it a day, because the goal of the manga had been reached. The titular Dragon Balls had been collected. The genie, or in this case the dragon, had been let out of its bottle, and because of that, it was doubtful readers would be interested in another Dragon Ball hunt. Plus, the series had simply failed to gain much momentum anyway. And so, Dragon Ball would end with just 23 chapters to its name.
Yeah, it was the shortest.
But then Toriyama stubbornly decided to persist, spurned by his editor, Kazuhiko Torishima, who told him the reason why the series wasn't popular was because the main protagonist was just too boring and plain. But this conclusion annoyed Toriyama, who decided to seek inspiration from said boring protagonist in order to breathe new life into Dragon Ball. But to do so, he had to figure out just who was Son Goku. Besides being inspired by Son Wukong from Journey to the West, Astro Boy, and martial arts films like Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, besides being as naive and pure of heart as he was strong, what did this character say to Toriyama? Well, soon enough, Toriyama would find his answer, and it would turn Goku into an anime icon, which would change the very foundation of shonen battle manga. This answer would reflect Goku perfectly, being similar.
To this day, people say that the Akira Toriyama's manga battle panels are one of the best manga panels of all time in fighting scenes. This is what Dragon Ball Z is known for, and Dragon Ball in general is known for, is that their fight scenes, the way Akira Toriyama made the fight scenes, were insanely dope and incredible with the detail, the artwork. Like, even not that long ago, I saw like a Dada Doya like tweet about it, about like, bro, every time I look at other fight scenes and other mangas, they just don't hit good as Akira Toriyama's like mangas, like panels, right? Obviously, that's just one person's opinion. But like even for me, even I'm a bigger like a One Piece fan, because I love the world, I love the characters, I love this and that. But even I will say that the fight scenes on Dragon Ball and One Piece are like different, right? Like they're different, dude. The Dragon Ball are always, like, for me, are still better than the One Piece fight scenes, and that's just me, right? And I'm a bigger One Piece fan. But even I will admit that, like, oh yeah, Dragon Ball like fight scenes, bro.
Simple yet powerful, as stated by Toriyama himself. When I had designed Goku's character, the words that best represented him were, "I want to become strong." This is how Goku became the driving force of Dragon Ball. The simple but engaging goal of the story's protagonist is so core to his being that Dragon Ball's evolution from an adventure gag manga to redefining the foundation of shonen battle manga decades since felt so right and so natural.
Damn.
But this isn't all there is to Goku. As equally important as his desire to get stronger is his philosophy to life. Or as Toriyama would put it, his philosophy in death. I was saved by Goku as a character. Even when he dies, he's like, well, whatever. It's this carefree attitude that sustains Goku's pure-hearted nature. No matter what hardships and trials come his way, he faces them head-on with a determined smile, keeping him grounded to the monkey boy from all the way back in the story's very first chapter. This is the creation of an icon. This is why there will never be another Son Goku.
Yeah.
This overt simplicity to Goku is why so many people miss the forest for the trees when trying to understand his appeal as a protagonist. Some just see his title as one of the strongest characters in anime history, and so will dub other newer, overpowered characters like Saitama and Gojo as this generation's new Goku, which actually does a disservice not just to Goku himself, but to the characters he's being compared to. Take Saitama, who's closer to a parody of Goku than anything else. One makes fun of a shonen battle manga trope which Dragon Ball is infamous for. This is when characters break their limits and attain godlike strength through relatively mundane training regimens.
Yeah.
Saitama's hilarious 100 press-ups, sit-ups, and 10-kilometer run per day is making fun of things like Goku gaining leg strength to jump through the clouds and push house-sized boulders after training with, and I shit you not, 20-kilogram and 40-kilogram turtle shells respectively. Meanwhile, Gojo, being this literally untouchable demigod who walks among men, is a defining feature of his character.
I feel like he's the main character of the manga, like at the point, like I don't know why, I feel like he's the main character.
From when he was a child, he knew he was just built different to everyone around him. The linchpin of the antagonist's plans always center around sealing Gojo because he is just so powerful. It's the reason why
that's why I feel like isn't like the main character supposed to be powerful? Like that's what I grew up with, right? Like the main character is the most powerful character in the story. I mean, I will say it is new, right? The main character is not the strongest of every single fight, every single thing, right? So I will give it that. So don't get me wrong about Yu Yu Kaisen. And like he's not the strongest character of all time. He's this and that. It's something new. But that's why. But sometimes I feel like he's like the main character because they're focusing so much on him, like sealing him away or trapping him or deceiving him, etc. So like that, you know.
Certain manga events in Jujutsu Kaisen have been so shocking. Although just like Goku, there is one opponent Gojo cannot defeat: the racism allegations.
Oh my god. Wait, what? Oh my god. There, sure you are. A lot of Piccolos here. Wow. You took me for a Namekian just because of my green skin. There's sure a lot of Saiyan and Namekian survivors. Are you any kind of Namekian? Really, Goku killed Namekian Senior, beat up his 3-year-old son.
Okay, seriously, this untouchable status levied at Gojo and Saitama in their respective series does not stick with Goku and never really has. Now, don't get me wrong here, Goku does indeed solo both, but what Goku's role in Dragon Ball's narrative is that he must continue to struggle in order to continue to get stronger. While Goku is revered by his allies as their best bet, his victory is never quite assured. As far back as the 21st Budokai, Toriyama had Goku lose, to show that yes, he can be humbled and beaten, but he would get back up and continue striving for greatness.
Which is a great thing, honestly. You don't want a show other than One Punch Man because it's a parody, where like the character always wins, especially in the beginning stages of his training, right? That's just boring. Oh, he's just gonna win. Oh, you're just gonna win, you know. And that's one of the things that I'm really gonna take that to heart when I'm working on my comic book, where I'm gonna make it where like he wins but also loses too as well, or like somebody else comes in and saves them or something like that kind of thing, right? But it obviously not gonna happen all the time, but it's something where I want to keep a good balance of, where I feel it's just boring if the main character just wins all the time because people expect that. Sometimes they want the unexpected.
Even when Goku looked untouchable for the 23rd Budokai and was at his most competent relative to the rest of the cast, with an ending so climactic, Toriyama had to reassure readers that Dragon Ball was still going. He then turned his life upside down, had him get one-shotted by his long-lost brother, and then killed him off all in the space of a few chapters. Sayonara Son Goku indeed. But like Toriyama said, Goku got over it and was excited to see that even in death he could get stronger, and then proceeded to run over 1 million kilometers for almost half a year straight. This is the appeal of Son Goku. Despite how strong he is still a struggler who wants to do right by others while bettering himself, just like the rest of us. See, he's not Goku because he's strong because he is Goku. 4 other characters inspired by Goku in more substantial ways, such as Luffy and Naruto, you can see the Goku in their personalities. Not to mention Naruto straight up took Goku's Super Saiyan color palette, and I just have to mention the drawing Oda did of Goku and Luffy, wherein Goku and Luffy look identical to each other. Truly as endearing as it is nightmare-inducing.
Which I will say this, I don't hate it. And also, you know what, I will say with Oda, at least he did his transformation different compared to any manga out there of his like Gear 5. Like his transformations always I like about Luffy's, it was different from Dragon Ball. Because you look at some other transformation, it really resembles a lot of what Dragon Ball did. But with One Piece, it was different. Just except for Gear 2, obviously. That was like for sure like an influence of Kaioken. Let's be honest. Come on. That was for sure an influence of Kaioken.
However, what I do find curious is that when each of these similar anime icons entered what can only be described as godhood, what makes Goku such a unique, relatable protagonist still shines through. While Gear 5 Luffy and Sage of Six Paths Naruto came into being with a whole rhetoric of godly reincarnations and messianic prophecies to save the world that the protagonists had just kinda partially stumbled into in order to satisfy narratives that are admittedly more complex than Dragon Ball's. But Dragon Ball's simplicity works to its benefit, as it's primarily concerned with Goku's path to power and its narrative driving force. Toriyama had Goku's reaction to needing a ritual, assistance from others in order to enter a new domain of divine power as
it's not the power, it's what it took to get it and what that means. It's a level of strength I can't reach on my own.
He was unsatisfied because it wasn't power he had attained with his own 2 hands, and when Goku continued to delve into the realm of the gods, he did so on his own terms, through his own strength, not to become a godly savior to others, but to get stronger. Goku's only dream is to defeat the Goku that existed yesterday. As a martial artist, he fights not to truly defeat others, but to actually defeat himself. This admittedly somewhat selfish aspect of Goku is the poison that Toriyama wrote him with, which ultimately grounds Goku as a character. Meanwhile, say Luffy has become a literal Looney Tunes character, meanwhile Naruto has become this ninja Jesus president whatever. But I'm going to be honest here, I don't know much of what Naruto is up to currently because I'm probably never going to read or watch Boruto.
I don't blame you.
But I am getting too far ahead of myself here. Forget God Key, forget blue hair, forget red hair. In order to delve into what makes Goku such a compelling protagonist, we have to take it back to where it all began and talk about the most iconic anime transformation of all time. Let's talk about that time Goku's transformation was indeed tied to a prophecy. Let's talk about the Super Saiyan.
It's over, Frieza!
Most iconic transformations of all time, guys.
Besides being a transformation that led to anime's most cathartic beatdown, what does Super Saiyan Goku actually represent? What does it say about the character? Well, it answers a question that a simple-minded character like Goku has never bothered to ask himself. Who am I? as throughout all his life, he knew that he was Son Goku and that he wanted to get stronger. But then he meets his brother Raditz, who tells him that his name is actually Kakarot and that he wants to get stronger because he is a Saiyan. He's then told that to be a Saiyan is to act in a way that is antithetical to who he is. Sure, they like to fight, but Saiyans are cowardly, vindictive, evil, and enjoy harming innocents, the exact opposite of Son Goku. After witnessing this firsthand, with undeniable proof that he is indeed a Saiyan, this creates an imbalance within him. An imbalance he carries until he is pushed to his breaking point and must ascend to the highest level of what a Saiyan is, and in turn the highest level of who he is, as he proudly proclaims with no trepidation or hesitation,
I am the Super Saiyan, Son Goku!
His power undeniably that of the legendary Super Saiyan, but his heart still that of Son Goku. He takes mercy on Frieza because there is nothing to be gained defeating someone who has already lost to themselves. But he is pushed to do so anyway. His heart was awakened by fury, but his heart was still that of Son Goku. And nobody, no relative, no prophecy could take away who he truly is. God, the Namek Saga is just so fucking peak. Super Saiyan is so peak. I swear I will make like an hour-long video breaking down the Namek Saga sometime this year. I promise. I promise.
I don't blame you, dude.
So with such a character moment, arguably the most powerful in the franchise, it would be almost impossible to move on from Goku as the story's protagonist. And ironically, Toriyama would prove this from an in-universe and out-universe perspective, as the Android Saga tells a story wherein Goku died of a heart virus and the entire world goes to shit, leaving Gohan to fill his father's shoes as essentially the new Goku. But unfortunately, he's not up to the task and tragically dies. Even Bulma comments that without Goku, the world lost its spark of hope. Then later on in the story, Goku dies again against Cell, leaving Gohan to succeed him as the story's protagonist. But Toriyama couldn't commit to this, even though he gave Goku the perfect ending to his path to power, as ultimately Goku is Dragon Ball. But this is a double-edged sword, and why modern Goku doesn't feel quite right. To see him regress and relearn lessons he had learned literal decades prior feels like it's damaging a legacy, backpedaling on the Dragon Ball story already.
Well, here's the thing too. He was pressured to continue with Goku. By the way, wasn't he? Didn't want to. He wanted to move on. There's a reason why he did it. But like the people that work with him, you know. They're like, no, bring Goku back. You gotta bring Goku back. He cannot be killed. Like, no, don't do that. That kind of thing. So he wanted to like finish Goku like so many times. That's why the way he ended the Namek Saga, he died. By the way, he wanted to end he wanted to end Dragon Ball in the Namek Saga. That's why when you look at like the Namek Saga to the Saiyan Saga, it has more of like a big, like more of a thought out story compared to like the Cell Saga and the Boo Saga, right? And they're not. I'm not saying they're not good, but like that was like all completed, right? The Saiyan Saga connected to the Namek Saga, to the Frieza Saga, all that kind of stuff, right? But when you look at the Cell Saga, that connected all the way to like the Red Red Army and Dragon Ball, right? And then when you look at Boo, it didn't connect to anything. It was just a new bad guy for the most part, right? So he wanted to end the character a long time ago. He wanted to do that, but I'm pretty sure a part of him was like, nah, actually I do want to continue. But like at that time, there's a reason why he died at the end of the Namek Saga, like technically, and then he died in the end of Cell Saga because he wanted to finish them. He wanted to move on, but they just didn't let him.
Already told, trying to recapture the impossible.
So what is this, Super Saiyan with blue hair dye?
It's a little
You see, there's more to an icon like Goku than just a great character design and a set of
I love the character
characteristics.
design, yeah.
Icons also represent a moment in time. A moment in time they grew with their audience. A moment in time they created the first generation of fans. A moment in time they inspired a new era of creators. In the case of Goku, this is a moment in time immortalized in the 519 chapter Dragon Ball manga
Crazy.
written by and drawn by Akira Toriyama, which ended perfectly with Goku taking all that he had learnt on his journey to teach someone new. In those final pages of Dragon Ball, in Oob, we can see every person who's ever been inspired by Goku, every person who's been touched by Dragon Ball. Maybe that's why Toriyama was so excited about Dragon Ball Daima, as in a way it presented a way to continue Goku's story in a more light-hearted direction, with a greater focus on humor and world building, just like how Dragon Ball was before it began to focus on Goku's path to power as its narrative driving force. I for one can't wait to see it. Perhaps this will be a new base.
Like a more like calm series, you know, nothing too crazy with like powers and abilities, and it's just like it's a limited series. It's not a series where it's gonna go on for like a very long time. Obviously, they are gonna bring back Dragon Ball with like Daima, just like a side story before they get into like the last parts of Dragon Ball, which is gonna be Dragon Ball. Like I truly believe they're gonna end Dragon Ball. I mean, or I wish to believe, like after the Frieza saga, the end of all ends, pretty much, right? Because they are gonna do the Moro arc, the Gnarl arc, and then they're gonna do the Black Frieza arc, right? Um, and I feel that's the end of it. Because what else to tell with the character Goku and Vegeta and all them? I personally feel that's where this should end because Akira Toriyama is no longer here. I don't know what his wishes were, by the way. If they're gonna continue, if they're gonna finish the last arc, or they're gonna be like Akira Toriyama give the permission, which I don't know if they need it or not. But I mean, come on, it's don't want to disrespect him. Of like, yeah, continue Dragon Ball or end it with this arc. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know if that's been made public or not. But yeah.
Basis for a new Goku for a new generation of fans, a new moment in time. On that note, for me, I was so young when I started watching Dragon Ball Z that for me, Goku literally was Dragon Ball Z. That and I was so young and stupid that I thought his name was Dragon Ball Z. But anyway, I was so young that I had nostalgia for the Saiyan saga, Goku vs Vegeta, when I was 10 years old, man. Dragon Ball, man, it's in a league of its own. It's what put me on the path to becoming a lifelong anime fan. And without this channel, The Cage would not exist. So thank you, Toriyama.
A lot of channels will not exist.
There will never be another you. There will never be another Dragon Ball. And there will never be another Son Goku. Thank you for watching. So hey, maybe I could interest you in another video wherein I yap about what makes Goku such a compelling protagonist.
Good video. And that's what makes Goku awesome, dude. Like a character, his design is just so awesome to like draw and create, or at least the style that Akira Toriyama created with the Dragon Ball series, right? Like there's just some characters are just cool to draw and create. Like Naruto's another one too. But it's just Goku's just like the characters of Dragon Ball are just so dope. There are some iconic characters just like, damn, dude, I just really want to draw him. Like he just looks so cool, you know. Because he's strong, he's Goku because he's Goku. Love the phrase. Yes, fight words that created an icon. I heard you were strong. Don't forget to add there will never be another Akira Toriyama as well. Dragon Ball brought the conquest of strength to Sojin, leading to later manga giving the MC specific reasons to become stronger. Dragon Ball truly walked so the later Sojin manga could run. Pretty much. Yeah, like yeah, I mean yeah, I get that. Like, what's the reason why? What's the reason getting stronger? Like, what's your reasoning? What's your prophecy? What's like, why do you want to protect this? Why you want to protect that? Like, if you're just doing it just for doing it, it's kind of like okay. again, One Punch Man is a whole different realm because that's his own thing. That's why I respect One Punch Man because like it's his own thing pretty much. The censorship in Germany was hilarious in the official version. Oolong said, "I wish for a hat with 2 holes, perfect for my ears." Oh my god! Anyway, it's a good video. I want to watch this because I want to like Goku's the very iconic character.